Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav with Media and Entertainment Skills Council. This is Pooja Arora welcoming you all on behalf of Media and Entertainment Skills Council. And today, जैसे everybody knows, अभी हम 75 years of independence से पहले 75 weeks से celebration चल रहा है. And on today's occasion of Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, we are talking about skilling for creative independence in media and entertainment industry with distinguished guest that includes Mr. B.S. Srinivas, Secretary Abai, GOK Center of Excellence in Animation, Visual Effects, Gaming and Comic Sector in Bangalore. Ms. Arushi Nishank, Environmentalist and Co-founder Sparsh Ganga, Mr. Vichar B.N., Art Director at Technicolor, Mr. Ramesh Anumukonda, Chief Gamer, Founder, A Plus Associates, Ms. Sukanya Srinivas, Center Head, Arena Animation, Maleshwaram, Bengaluru, Managing Director and Founder at Vedatma Animation Studio and Vedatma Trust. Ms. Chiji Sunil, CEO, Center of Excellence, AVGC, Director, Animaple Solutions Private Limited and Spirit VFX Studios Private Limited. So I welcome you all on this platform on behalf of Media and Entertainment Skills Council. Vichar sir and Ramesh sir, may I request you to turn on your video?
Very, very good evening. Thank you very much for inviting, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and celebrating Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav with the Media and Entertainment Skills Council.
Nice, it's a pleasure.
Same here. It's a great to be with a great panelist here. Really looking forward to see how it goes, and looking forward for it.
Right, sir. Now we have a message from Mr. Srinivas, and he just got dropped from here. Some internet issues, some technical things come up when we are doing so. Right now we have Ms. Arushi Nishank with us, and she has sent a message for the lovely audience and all the panelists. So I'd take your permission to go ahead with this message.
Please go ahead.
Thank you.
Hello and namaskar. My name is Arushi Nishank, and today I am here to congratulate to all of you on this beautiful occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And we are celebrating, cherishing these beautiful 75 years of the beautiful independence. हम सभी जानते हैं ये जर्नी आसान नहीं थी. We have fought many battles for it. There are a lot of people have given sacrifices for this beautiful freedom which you and me enjoying right now, sitting in India and trying to excel in our own respective fields. So first of all, मैं उन सभी शहीदों को, उन सभी लोगों को जिन्होंने इस आज़ादी के लिए कंट्रीब्यूट किया, उन सभी को आज याद करना चाहूँगी. बात रही आज़ादी की, तो आज़ादी is a subject which goes very different for each and every person. But for me, I always say for freedom is like a bird for me. आप उसको पिंजरे में रखते हैं तो वो पिंजरे के लिए नहीं बनी है, और पिंजरा चाहे सोने का ही क्यों ना हो, पिंजरा पिंजरा होता है. सो ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप जिस भी फील्ड में हो आपको फ्रीडम मिले. एंड हमारे फोर फादर्स ने, हमारे पूर्वजों ने इसके लिए बहुत अच्छी और लंबी जंग को लड़ा है. मुझे याद दिलाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि कितने लाखों लोगों ने इसके लिए कुर्बानी दी है. तब जाकर आप और हम आज यहाँ बैठकर बहुत सारे डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में बात कर पाते हैं. हम फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के बारे में बात कर पाते हैं, हम फ्रीडम ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी के बारे में बात कर पाते हैं, विच इज़ अ utmost important topic for today. And I feel that in this field it is very important that आप जब सोचते हैं, आप क्रिएटिव फील्ड में होते हैं, तो इंडिपेंडेंस ज़रूर बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाती है, क्योंकि एक बहाव होता है और एक बहाव को और पंछी को रोक पाना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. पर ऑन द सेम साइड आई फील कि कभी भी किसी की आज़ादी और स्वतंत्रता अराजकता नहीं बन सकती किसी के लिए. सो देयर इज़ अ वेरी स्लाइट डिफरेंस बिटवीन आज़ादी और अराजकता, which is a very important subject right now to think about. But I'm sure there are many good people who are in this panel, and I would surely love to listen more from them. और मैं आज आपको एक बार दोबारा से congratulate करती हूँ, because this Media and Entertainment Skill Council, which is coming with more fields for people coming into the creativity, VFX and gaming. And I'm sure and very certain that this will give the new generation a new way to look up to and look forward. So एक बार फिर से आप सभी लोगों को आज इस आज़ादी के दिवस पर इस पैनल के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई. और मैं अपनी बात को एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत सी कुछ पंक्तियों के साथ ख़त्म करना चाहूँगी, जो सब हम बचपन से पढ़ते हुए सुनते हुए बड़े हुए हैं. शहीदों की चिताओं पर लगेंगे हर बरस मेले, वतन पर मिटने वालों का यही बाकी निशान होगा. Thank you. Namaskar.
So that was a beautiful message on this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from Ms. Arushi Nishang, an environmentalist and co-founder of Sparsh Ganga. So let's continue with our panel discussion for today. Let's hear it from Mr. Srinivas B.S. on competencies and constraints of creative independence.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. First of all, good evening to all the viewers here. And it's been a pleasure being a part of this discussion. And I thank all the people involved in this. See, basically, we're talking about skilling in this industry. And this industry has one of the biggest media entertainment industry markets in the world, and the number of content that gets produced here in our country is probably the biggest in the world. So, like I always say, creativity, you know, the point of the technology will always be an enabler. It will never be, you know, a thing on which the idea depends on. An idea can never, it's all is an idea in the concept. So everything starts with an idea, and technology will just be an enabler, because the content, the story, the character, that is more important. And there are constraints when you talk about an idea, because not every idea gets the due respect or due regard that it's supposed to get. But when you come out with a lot of ideas, we are sure that some of the ideas will definitely hit the bullseye, and it will bring our country into the limelight. So there are a lot of challenges that comes, and as a representative of the state government of Karnataka here, that we are working on a lot of things on trying to address this address these constraints of creative independence. Like, see, there was a time when people, if they have an idea, they didn't know where to go or what to do. Times have changed now. From there, we have moved a long way. And today, if there is an idea, there are people who can support that idea, fund that idea. There are government agencies, there is the government departments in particular states. Some of the states have already started, like Karnataka has already started, and most of the other states are falling behind. I mean, they're also there. So we are all working towards, from the idea, how do we help skill development? How do we help IP development? And how do we help them reach the goal? Like we have a idea to POC fund which supports students who are skilled, but who want to do on their own, but they don't know what to do and how to raise fund for that. So we support them in bringing that idea to reality, taking that idea to the markets, generating interest, and then come back and then they can develop the series. So what I'm trying to say is that everything begins with an idea, and there has to be a lot of support and a lot of ecosystem working around it to make that idea successful. And it all starts from the skilling, upskilling, and then supporting the IP in developing the content. So from our side, we're trying to do a lot of stuff, and we look at combining hands with a lot of state governments and also the central government to think about this as a mainstream sector and not just a small sector in the media and entertainment industry. Because today, the gaming industry is probably the industry which is poised for the highest growth in the country. The OTT is there. The animation visual effects markets are booming. India is the go-to place or the come-to place for the world market to get their jobs done. So this is the time when we need to concentrate on the skilling and upskilling of the people required, and also to help people develop their own ideas. Apart from just doing services to the other ideas, we could also develop a lot of IPs. So this is an all-round development, you know, and we're trying to bridge the gap between the academia and the industry. We're doing a lot of initiatives, and we are happy to be, associated with the Media Entertainment Skill Council also, and together we would like to do a lot of stuff in the coming days to come.
Thank you so much, sir. Also, when we talk about independence in skilling, independence in creative skilling, or I'd like to know from Mr. B.N. Vichar, what is creativity when we talk about an inherent form of expression? What's your say on that?
First of all, good evening, everyone, and I'm really excited to be part of this session actually, and looking forward. It's a nice initiative actually, and the creative word itself says it's it's a lot of ocean of opportunity right now, and the media which right now it's in booming, and there is a lot of possibilities where artists used to think that I could not achieve in certain things. Now the tools and technology is really helping and pushing where the artist was not able to achieve the result, where not to mimic certain things. So creative is something where as an artist I was not able to imagine that I could create something very lively, and I always say aham brahmasmi. It's a Sanskrit thing, like as like a dummy god. So we are able to create and give life to the the character or creature. So that is fantastic actually. So now the technology is moved into a very next level, and it's very excited actually. So yeah, to your point, yes, creative is going in every field right now. Initially it was creative was very isolated, only an artist can do or something like that, but it has been used in widely in all the genres, whether it could be in marketing towards very animation or gaming. So there is a lot of opportunity. So yeah, I feel we are in the next generation where we, a lot of opportunities are there and a lot of possibilities are there. Hello.
Great, very well mentioned by Srinivas sir and Vichar sir that there are a lot of opportunities in this field, and when we are talking about creativity, it's a never-ending process and it stays with you throughout your life.
Yes.
Let's hear it from Sukanya ma'am. Sukanya ma'am, how do you think structured learning versus ad hoc knowledge? What's your say on that?
Yeah, good evening all. Very happy to be here in this panel. It's indeed a very good question, like, of course, now there are a lot of apps and trial versions, where one can definitely, download and, they can use softwares and all that. But if one need to be exponent in this, they definitely need to go, in a very structured way. Maybe, like unless and until a person is, knows every aspects of, animation and visual effects. I mean to say the pipeline, unless and until a person knows the pipeline, he cannot put a right, understand the right emotion, or he cannot understand the purpose of the project or whatever that could be. So in case, if a person had to understand about the project or about whatever the right output he have to deliver, I mean, a streamlined learning is very, very important, because there is something called, storyboard, and then, graphics, animation, and then VFX. So maybe he is a VFX artist, but learning will always help in media. That's what we believe in.
Great. So that when we say learning is always important in media and rather all the industries when we talk about, so it really comes to the industry point as well. Now, I'd like to know about it from Ramesh sir. The technology, a key tool for creativity in 21st century. Now, how does industry weave it in all its projects? So you're on mute.
The question is very aptly asked, and looking at the context of Vishar saying Aham Brahmasmi is ability to be the creator, the absolute creator, and how I hear from Madam in terms of saying pipeline is the key thing in terms of what she sees coming as the core part. The pipeline which connects people, processes, and technology. The way to achieve a green screen shoot or a blue screen shoot or a matte shoot is now transformed to what is called real time. And in the real time world, what you see is what you get. So what traditionally used to be done with 20 people taking 6 months of effort to produce an animated film or a short film or a visual effects shot on a full 4K resolution is now done on real time. Means you have everything of your set projected onto the LED screens, which is called virtual production. Companies like Unreal Engine are leading this particular concept of virtual production, which makes both the process, the technology, refined through a pipeline, the way of doing it. And I'm very glad that Madam Srinivas and they're putting a lot of emphasis on pipeline, even when they're been training people at the Apitech and Arena centers. Making the learner, the student itself, the creator of the metaverse. That's what most of this company does. And technology is evolving at such a rapid pace that students need to be given support, both at the technical vocational education stream level, electives in college level, as well as an opt-in course done by many of our academic settings. The COE initiatives of the government of Bangalore through the COE at the Whitefield, they have it. And the initiatives what Media Entertainment Skill Council is doing in developing qualification packs, in broadening the scope to make these elite courses available to a much more wider audience. So your question connects actually the whole summary of the panel audience here. So thank you very much. And it's the opportunity for young India to take that effort and get out of their comfort zone and get exposure onto these areas.
Very well said, sir. Really. So how academia and industry work together is more important.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
let's come back to Srinivas, sir. So an idea is a starting point of creativity. But competency lies in actually moving that form from an idea to finalization, as you have even mentioned that earlier. What are the competencies required to move in, to start with? To As a layman, do I have to have some competency to come in this creative field?
See, we have always believed that everyone is born creative. Okay, if you know that what color suits you or what looks good in that corner of your house or which color of car you'd love to drive or what you would like to keep in your private spaces that you create in your house. Everybody has a creativity in them which they would not have got an opportunity to explore. So it all starts from there. I mean, like everyone is born creative. It's just that we need to explore our inner potential and try to develop on that. So what we do is what generally if I'm talking on behalf of the training industry, what we generally do is to just see the creative aptitude of a candidate who walks in to do a particular course in an animation or visual effects. And we realized that each one of the students who have been coming, I've been in the industry for the last 2.5 decades now. So probably would have counseled some 50,000 to 70,000, 60,000 people who would have come and joined the courses in our institution. So most of them have, or all of them have this creative bent of mind. It's not necessary that you need to be a very good artist or a very good, painter or a sculptor or yeah, it is an added advantage. I'm not saying no, but anybody and everybody can do this if they have the passion to do something different, to do something big. And this is the industry to be in without any kind of a background required, because this is the only field which doesn't ask for any of the previous academic qualifications or what your age is, and anybody at any age can learn this and try to become, get the career in this field. You can walk in and create for yourself in this field, provided you have that creative flair in your mind. It's not that you have to be help. Be hey, you are a good. Why have you not tried this? You're a good artist. You're a good visualizer. Your color theories are very strong. So that's when we try to bring out their skills. We encourage with that. So from there, we have to train them. We need to train them on the basics, like Sukanya told, or which are told, or all the three, if I can club together. It all starts from the storyboarding techniques, or from how to draw a line, how to draw a circle, how to draw line figures, how to draw a perspective, color theories, what are cool colors, what are warm colors, what are hot colors. From there, you need to start the visualization techniques. Till you reach the system, you should be first strong on your basics, the pre-prods and the storyboard part of it. And then you enter into the system and go through a structured way of training and come out with a proper graduation or a certification from a known entity, from a known college or a university. And then look at options of masters, or if they are interested, they can pursue it abroad, or if they want to learn on the job, they can apply and then start. But it doesn't end at that. Skilling is not the only thing, because upgrading is very, very important, because the technologies keep changing very, very often. So if you don't be on your toes and keep constantly upgrading yourself, you will not be able to, be a part of that race that is happening. Like any industry, this industry also is fastly growing. So you need to be in the race. If you have to be in the race, you have to be the best. So you have to keep upgrading yourself, upskilling yourself, and that's how you keep in, you become successful in this sector. The beauty is that anybody can walk in, anybody can do this course, and anybody can create a beautiful career for themselves in this industry. But they'll have to put their efforts like any other field. But the results are faster and better than any other industry, is what I would like to encourage aspiring people to come into this.
Very wonderful. So it's really motivating that everybody can enter this field. And your statement, like everybody is born creative, is like really amazing. Now, when I talk about everybody is born creative and how upskilling is required, similarly, design thinking used to be a part of designing segment only. But nowadays, it's no more a part of only designing or only animation or only artist domain. How has it changed the way of creative artists? So Vichar, sir, I'd like to know it from you. Designing is no more just from one domain. It's with everybody. How artists are approaching their
Uh,
profession on this?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a very interesting question, though. Actually, now design thinking initially it was very limited, and it was only non-linear kind of a workflow where there were no back and forth was not there. Now it's becoming more iterative process because of the technology and what we have in hand. Because as I was telling, where I used to limit myself, where I cannot try it out, where the technology and the software right now, it's giving a lot of lucrative for us to try out multiple ways, like Mr. Ramesh was telling, like live video editing, where live taking a blue screen movie. It gives a lot of opportunity for artists as well as non-artists also to iterate and try out, get the fastest result, and save time and make it more creative, because there is a lot of room for multiple iteration, and as well as you can take the creative to the very next level. So that's very important, because the technology, as Srinivas was telling, the technology is helping us a lot, and only thing is we need to tap that. And right now, like I come from a sculpture background, where I used to do a traditional sculpting, where I was doing a hands-on sculpting. Now I could do a 3D print, right? So now the technology is being used in various different industry, which is not artistic, but they are trying to use 3D printing, and they're using a lot of artistic tools over there. So it's the horizon is getting far, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So only thing is we need to understand that we need to have that little passion of that, what is that software. So there are a lot of opportunity there. We need to tap that. And it's been very useful for non-artists, because I've met a lot of, in my career, I've met a lot of who's not from the art background, and they are using the technology to the next level, which we never thought about it. Oh, I can use this software in this way. So it is always jaw-dropping kind of an experience for me, and people are using it, because only thing is we need to make like this kind of sessions, we should make them aware of what is that technology in the market. And if they get exposed more, I think the whole industry will grow double the size what it is currently today.
Right, sir. Absolutely right. And the formal education is important, like mentioned by Sukanya. So,
Yes, sorry, yes, actually, that is the key thing. Actually, it's like you need to learn ABCD to make a sentence. So I think the formal education is very important, plays a big role irrespective of it. It's very important. And majorly what happens is everyone sees the iceberg, and they just want to be one of the best artists, or this thing. They forget the base route, like as ma'am was telling it. It has to follow certain rules and principle, then only it works, actually. Sorry, I thought I would like to add this before going further. Yep.
please. So Kanya ma'am, I'd like to know how do you think industry with its streamlined processes, how does someone with no formal learning fit into it? Or they like like Vichar sir had mentioned, you need to learn ABC to make a sentence, and which is very, very very, very true. Now, do you see a place for still people without any formal education fitting in?
Yeah, as Richard said, I would definitely like to second Richard's thought. Of course, yes, formal education is very important. He may learn it in an institution or maybe with a friend or however it may be. So, learning methodology is very important. Okay, as I said in the first question, there is something called colors to that, and then drawing, expressions, and everything has to learn. So, if a person learn right teacher, because there are a lot of things field, you feel like when you open the software you feel like you know everything, like So a formal education is very important, and unless until a person knows about what he's actually doing, he cannot definitely give the best output in any studios, or in anywhere he like to put it across. So definitely a formal education is required. And maybe you see, there are so many people, they say they must learn on their own, and maybe working in big studios, but still, they have put 100% efforts to learn everything. Okay. I always recommend, learn it from a right guru, because there are so many shortcut keys, and, so many, tools, where it has to learn, one has to learn from a teacher. Okay. And I always recommend to learn from a teacher, and, I always advise everybody, don't be overconfident in this, because it is not a field where you can take it for granted. Okay, creativity is something where you take one person, he has a type of creativity, two 2% two kind of creativity, and it is enormous. You can't just limit the creativity and the thoughts. So that's what I always recommend everybody. See, you should have the right visualization, and you should have the right observation, and please respect that observation. Okay, see, for example, you see the leaves, different trees have got different leaves. God is the best creator. Okay? Praise that. So from there, your creativity starts, and definitely that creativity become a right skill, and then the right skill will become a best talent. So formal education is required to be in the right place and for the proper growth.
Yes, ma'am. Taking from your point, I'd like to mention nowadays, like even somebody on our channel said YouTube is a free university, but there are a lot of video creators. There's a lot of content available freely, on many platforms. How can one judge if that's the right thing for you to do or no? So, Sukanya ma'am, if you can guide us on that.
No, I didn't hear the.
So, as ma'am, there is a lot of content, lot of freely available, tutorials are available for these skills. How do you? I think Sukanya ma'am dropped. No, ma'am, I'd like to repeat that. Like there is a lot. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yeah, please. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. So what I was saying, like there is a lot of free and freely available knowledge. I'll say a content available. How to judge if that's the right information when you are learning media and entertainment courses? Srinivas,
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing the voice. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sukanya ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would like to tell you is that there is no substitute. There is no come to animation and creative field. There is no shortcut for that. You need to definitely learn in depth, and you should. As I told you, if you start learning, you feel like you don't know anything. There is so much vast, and there are a lot of things to learn. So with that, a formal training and from a right teacher, there is no substitute. University, any schools, any colleges, which offers this kind of animation and visual effect training. So YouTube and all that, it's only a temporary solution, where you clear some doubts, or you can just browse through and get to know a few things, but that will not help you in the long run. It's like that.
So that just we really need a guru to guide us to get a success in this industry.
Very true, very true.
All right. So I'd like to mention, like there are two segments when we talk about media industry, or we have creation and creativity. So Ramesh sir, like technology is also divided into creation, where we are using softwares and platforms, and creativity. Creativity, your content, your user experience. How important are both these aspects in AVGC industry?
So the way to connect the demand and supply, there is demand for content and there is supply of content, and the supply of content gets done by artists who are getting trained and they get into the mainstream job. In the whole supply chain, skilling on the right tools, again, as Sukanya madam said, with the right guru, with the right content, bridging the supply and demand is the most important part of it. The way how industry is evolving would always need to work with a unified consortium of people. For example, in our case, we are fortunate to have sector skill councils. Media and Entertainment Sector Skill Council, which does Vidya Dan, is a Dan which is more better than any other Dan of food or money or this thing. And this Dan of information, today we are living in information technology area, is ability to connect the audience to respective careers and the whole gamut of the qualification packs, the kind of job roles which are being there, says that this is the content which has the demand, which could be an animator, visual effects artist, game programmer, game artist, visual effect artist, virtual production artist, virtual reality developer, video game developer, virtual production for film and television broadcasting is where is the flag bearer, followed by eminent people coming from industry who are in the act of training vocational education. In our case, it was Sukanya. She's doing through Aptech a very phenomenal service of training people and connecting and making sure that there is quality of the trainer. Because you got to go to the right guru is you got to have standards for training your master trainer on the technology tools. And tools are nowadays going like very, very democratic. For example, if you take tools like Unreal, or if you take tools like any of the content creation platform, once you bring that content into that particular platform, your content can go through all devices. It can go to your mainstream video, it can go to your gaming platform, it can go to your augmented reality device, it can go to your mixed reality device. It can broadly go through multiple dimensions where a technology provider is nowadays perceived as a platform. So right content, right guru, the medium of delivery, right skill standards in the form of qualification pack, which has been guarded by the Media and Entertainment Skill Council under the limbs of National Skill Development Corporation, and a delivery mechanism, both in the private stream. We are fortunate to have Sukanya represent the private stream, Aptech, which does phenomenal training in this area. And we have Srinivas, who representing from the ABAI COE, which is to say that this training should be all. It's a government incentive program. And let's do Vidya Dan, mentoring Dan, and then get people who are not having privileged access to do it. So that way, I think the having this both technology as a medium, technology as a platform, technology as a tool set to get an entry-level job is most important. And both forms of learning, which is online live classes because of COVID restrictions, then having exposure to a lab like the motion capture lab, like the green screen lab, virtual production lab, which exists in the ABAI COE in Bangalore, and then having the right mentors and the right gurus, both online, offline, and then inculcating the whole youth to an act called self-paced learning, ability to learn by going through bit-sized contents and then be ready with an open heart when you go to academic institutions, where you can make sure that the guru would feel that the right student has arrived. Because there is the whole aspect of Guru Shishya Parampara goes from Vidya Dan, comes from the right guru, able guru, having a student who is having that level of curiosity, open-mindedness to do it, then technology is absolutely a unified platform. So technology keeps on changing. So you should be always be in a process of being young at heart, very, very, very curiosity to learn, have gratitude towards your gurus, respect things, both living and non-living, even a computer, though it's non-living, it is a medium which is making us to work. Though internet is a tool to make us connect, if it is not stable, we will not be able to do what we can do in a meaningful world. And then always be with that sense of learner, because anything which you have learned today has a foundational knowledge. It helps you to learn new things on top of it. Technology enables to learn on top of it. That becomes a broader platform for you to perform. And as you constantly keeps on learning and performing on that platform, you would realize that you are a practitioner, and we are on a lifelong school, and life is the best teacher. So if whether it's animation, visual effects, and gaming, as the way Sukanya madam has said, having the right guru can only come the best from the right guru when you have the right student with the right tools and technologies and the right approach to that Guru Shishya Parampara. And today, the way you have pulled this, I feel very empowered to see that. No? We are connecting the dot both in the private sector and the government sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really well said about technology, how it's important and how things are moving. Now, when we talk about, like you've said, because of COVID and because of the situation, things move to online mode and everything. How the business dynamics in AVGC are changing around the world, especially the East, when we talk about India becoming the hub of for key projects. So I'd like to hear it from Ms. Srinivas. Please, if you can give us little details into the dynamics of current scenario of AVGC. So you're muted.
Sorry. Like the COVID situation affected all the businesses around the world, AVC sector also was not spared. But what has to be appreciated and spoken highly about is how fast the industry adapted to the change. It's all about how fast you adapt to the change that happens in the world. And the AVC sector was the first to respond in terms of adapting to the change, working remotely, trying to trying to complete the committed projects, and try to keep up the commitments to the customers. Biggest of the biggest studios and smaller of the smaller studios also, they all surprisingly, because of a couple of sectors like gaming and OTT, the media and entertainment industry as a whole didn't dip too much. Like if we were growing at an average of about 22 to 3% CAGR, we took a small hit of 17% last year, but we're already back at 25% this year, and we would probably look at closing the next 30 growth. That's how it grew fast, because during this time the consumption on OTT and gaming increased, and again these are the sectors which again demanded the animation and visual effects and content to be created. So when a door closes, another door opens. So that's how people started looking for opportunities when they were not having the same kind of work models, and that's how the increase of consumption happened in the consumers because of the lockdown. And that's how work increased for studios for creating content, because content creators were most busiest people for COVID time or the lockdown time. Media entertainment industry didn't suffer as a whole because of a few sectors taking over the reins and trying to cover up for the things that were happening inside the industry. So all in all, it was like, though it took some time, we were very quick to adapt to this, and the production pipelines changed. People started more studios, made a lot of systems available at the particular place of the designer or the artist, so that the work doesn't stop. So adapted to the changing style, and we were able to deliver what we were supposed to. And media entertainment industry, according to me, didn't get hit so badly like the other sectors got hit. So I think it's all about how quick you're adaptable to change, and then you can adjust to any situation, and that's how it went. I think you are muted.
Sorry. So when during the COVID time, when everybody was locked inside the home, media and entertainment sector, or I'll say the consumption has increased so much that it became a kind of a food for every day. Like use it, be it OTT, be it gaming, be it I'll say visual effects, animation. When we talk about entertainment here, so I'll take the last question, and then we'll maybe just proceed towards the end. We need to increase awareness about the industry. Everybody knows about consumption of media, they're getting entertained, but somehow do you think there is a need to increase the awareness about the industry? There are a lot more things than what they just see on screen. What do you think are the various initiatives that the industry can put forward for attracting more talents and high level talents from the industry? Like what can be? And this question is for Ramesh sir and Vichar sir.
Vichar, you want to go first?
No, I would go after. Yes, it will be.
So the awareness drive, if I'm looking at the existence of a specific courseware, specific job role, I have recently stumbled upon a guide which is called as Career Guides. It's a field guide for the future of interactive 3D for the next 10 years. So people invested research in looking at what would be careers transforming from the current state of industry for the next 10 years, and how do you drive resilience into these job roles. And this is a file which is a PDF document which gives much more insights into how the jobs are transforming in a global demand supply parameter perspective, and ability to cope up with the change. And whether it is the way how the pandemic has hit, has got new ways of engagement, new way of consuming the content, new way of putting your best foot forward in terms of taking everything in a very collective manner. The kind of efforts I've seen from companies, technology companies, predominantly in animation, visual effects, and gaming. Epic Games have done very specific things like doing an Unreal authorized training partner program. Absolutely out of the window, go ahead and train the teachers and establish quality benchmarks in the trainers. Absolutely no cost involved, but the whole focus is on quality. If you focus on quantity in the early days, you would get short-term gains from what skilling opportunities you do. If you look at the quality of training as your first benchmark, it will give a lot of results, a lot of sustainable results for the ecosystem, for the industry, and the whole economy to grow in the AVCG space. Those are my 2 cents. Which are for you?
Nicely put together. I would like to bring certain unique way of thinking. How do we bring more creative insight? I think in the early schooling times, I think we should involve a little bit of animation so that the parents as well as the students get awareness of what is this animation is, and we start building the future. It's like planting a coconut tree. You won't get the coconut very immediately, but you get it in a later time, but you get very sweet tender coconut. So it's something like that. So I feel I think we should start somewhere from the roots rather than, yes, already there are we are always looking at the top of the tree, but we are not concentrating how do we nurture the roots and how do we manure the roots. So what I see is we should start slowly bringing some animation exercise in the schools, so that many of them encourages because art as appreciation is required, because then only we will get good artists. So right now people are aware that there is some industry like this, but what you get, what kind of job you'll do it. So when you start building it, it's like a foundation. So we can build a very robust building in the future. So we will have a very talented artist coming into our industry, and I think it will be very strong animation industry here, or digital industry. So I think somewhere we should focus on the first, the younger mind. They'll be very creative, and nurturing them, and showing the path of the creative path. And if we give them the experience of how digitally they can enhance their thought process. So I think that's where we should look at it and start developing it. So that's where we get a lot of creative artists. And it'll as everyone in the panel they were telling, the tools, pipeline, everything will go along. It's like a seesaw. So we need someone creative, thinking process and tools. So it's kind of balance act. So that'll be great for the future of India. I think yeah, we should focus more over there. Yeah. Hello.
I was muted again. So very well said, sir. And really, this has been a very wonderful panel to discuss about how skilling in creativity can get freedom of like independence in M&E industry. Now, as we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and we are sitting on 14th of August, an eve of Independence Day, I'd really like you all to give a message to the audience and to the young aspirants towards watching you all for media and entertainment industry. So let's start from Sukanya ma'am.
Yeah, as Vichar said, it should be nurtured from the school level itself. Okay, so don't stop creating. Whatever you want to do, you do that. You don't stop it, and don't have that. Especially for the parents, don't think that your son should be only engineer or doctor, and don't please compare. So that comparison, I day to day I meet a lot of people. They say, my son is not studying at all. My son is not. We want him to become an engineer or a doctor, but he wants to do animation. But I say animation. That's what awareness should be created to the parents first, and then to the children. And children are very much well versed with this field, but when they put it across with the parents, sometimes a few parents, they still don't believe about this. But please, I tell you, please encourage your children, encourage from the younger age, so that they can definitely become tender. They can bring our India to the world. It's very important for anybody to encourage creative skills, and please do that. And all the extras, you're all creatives. So don't worry that so many of them, they say, no, I'm not creative, what to do, I don't know to draw. A small kid, if he or he have to draw, they draw A, they put 3 lines, unless and until that kid is creative, they can't put that. So from that level the creativity starts. So observe the creation, respect the creation, and you become a good creator. So creativity is in you, please explore. Thank you.
Wonderful, ma'am. And even as per new education policy, we must inculcate these creative skills in the tender age of students, that is the teenage, starting 11 years onwards. If they are prepared from that age, we can get very, very young artists, and very, very talent is there, just that acceptance in the family and acceptance in the society is needed. Let's
Very
hear it.
good.
Yeah, it's Ramesh sir, from you.
Okay. First of all, happy Independence Day. Nothing in the world is as sweet as being independent. And we are all blessed to be in a country like India. And India is a place where you get the best of it. And we are not India as a country. We are actually a mini world, with the diversity of languages, with the diversity of cultures. like the European Union, you have Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati. I would say the freedom brings a lot of, generally people say with power, you get great responsibility, like the Hollywood movie saying, right? You are more powerful, you are having more responsibility. Here I would stumble upon a thought saying that freedom in the hands of youngsters puts them responsible for their decisions made. It's no longer parents. and when I hear from Sukanya and which are saying that, hey, parents have this taboo saying gaming is not good, we have to fight parental resistance. Thanks to the current way of digital immersion, and especially when online classes are happening, parents are getting educated what the kid is doing, okay? I see, for me, the questions of saying is animation or gaming mainstream, they see their kid not just playing games, but creating games. So that is slowly setting it off, especially during the digital connect and the stuff which is going on. If I need to reflect a message as freedom gives more power from a student perspective, is where it puts a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. And the responsibility is multidimensional. And I take refuge to take a model, and I just did a quick search on Google to share you the screen, which is called Ikigai, which is a model from Japan, which says that you got to find out what you love. You can see my screen, right? It's a small graphic, which is public domain information. Any kid can go and write to his parent and say, I have the freedom. I'm in a free India, thanks to Independence Day. I have the freedom of choice of what I want to do. List out what they love. And then go and ask your friends, look at your mark sheets, look at your performance, look at your demonstrated capabilities of what you are drawing. How is your drawing skills? How is your animating skills? What you are good at it. And go and make a list of demand supply. We are talking about jobs, the jobs which are available that will pay your check. What can you be paid for and how much? And of course, what the world needs. If the world needs more of animations like the Disney style or the Pixar style or the Chota Beam style, what the world needs. And once you list what you love, what you're good at it, only list 3 of them, just to make the choice of freedom. Again, it's Independence Day. I try to stay loyal to the word of freedom, which puts a lot of responsibility on the student, saying that list the top 3 what you love, top 3 skills what you are good at it, top 3 jobs where you think you fit in, that pays well in your perceptions, and what the world needs in those domains. And then sit with your parents and say what the marriage between what you love and what you are good at it, the interpolation is your passion. It will be there as long as you're young and you want your pay bills are being paid by your parents. And what you are good at it and what pays well is a way where you can start your profession. So live your passion when your bills are paid from your parents. Have a nice childhood. Enjoy school, enjoy college, enjoy everything what you get. Be passionate about it. The moment you want to get into your job, translate your passions into a way that you are good at it and pick up a profession which fits you. That makes your parents very, very confident that you're doing the right thing for yourself. And what the world needs. World needs good content creators. World need good storytellers. World need good filmmakers. World need good game developers. Convert into a vocation. And once you do a full circle like this, your purpose of life, of that mission of why you came on earth, is termed in the Japanese way called Ikigai. The one who is nearing to their own enlightenment. The way if you look at how Vishar was starting saying that Aham Brahmasmi comes from the Indian philosophical view of one of the Upanishads says Aham Brahmasmi. The same other Upanishad says Prajnanam Brahma, means it's all about knowledge is Brahma. And if you go to the first Upanishad, which says Isavasa Upanishad, says the whole world is Ishvara Swarupam, is God. So when I put that into the Japanese philosophy of Ikigai, It is saying that we are all free beings. What we are today is the freedom of choice, what we made. And not many people in the world do not have that freedom. Look at what happened in the floods in other countries. Look at what is happening, which is absolutely a war in some of the Israel, some of the Middle East countries and other stuff, right? Palestine and other stuff. Being in India, first respect it. Vande Maratam, Bharat Mata ki jai. With that, use that in a right way. Find out your purpose of life. Enjoy life every moment by identifying it and communicating to your parents, and do what the world needs around you. It starts with your family first, your neighborhood second, your town or village or city third, your state and your country and the world. Do what the world needs for the good. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Very well explained. It's really amazing. You have given the core mantra of the life to the students, how they can, move ahead.
I don't
and
know.
be
You inspired me.
successful.
You put me on the spot. I didn't expect this question, so I took refuge onto internet, and I hope it was useful for the student audience and the community around. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Let's hear it from Vichar, sir, now.
Okay, first of all, happy Independence Day. I usually use this mantra for my own growth. I always said, never be a stagnant water, be always a flowing water. Because what happens is, when you are in a stagnant water, there will be a lot of insect and everything. It gets decayed. So don't get settled that I know everything. Always be a flowing water. Flowing water every day sees new village, new place, new people. Like that, learning should be something like a flowing water. Always it should be constant, so that your knowledge has been always brushed up. There is a saying, right? Since I'm a sculptor, I would like to add this. Whether you have to decide whether you want to be a pavement stone or a beautiful sculpture. So if you take a chiseling, you'll become a beautiful sculpture. If you take the lessons from the life, you'll become a beautiful sculpture where everyone will appreciate and they will respect you. That is important. If you don't want to take a chisel and you have that ego of, I know everything in irrespective of the field you are doing, then it won't grow. If you think that yes, that is enough, if you get settled down, you'll become a stagnant water. So it's all in within us. How do we take it? How do we shape it ourselves? It's like we are chiseling our own path, we are chiseling our own future. So the hammer and chisel is with us. How much chisel it will take, how much up and down it goes, you have to take it in a positive way. And you need to keep on sharpening your skills. And it's like a kitchen knife. So always when you sharp it, the you can cut the vegetable nicely. The skill is something like that. Keep sharpening your skills. That is what is important. And it's never say that I know everything, because till today I've been in 2 decades in this industry. I think I don't know anything, because art is something like that. Art has experience. So like the same dosa what I eat in a different hotel, it will be different. It doesn't mean it's the same dosa, but it's same name, but it's a different taste to it. So I say, never think that I know everything. Be a flowing water. That will help you to take to a very different location, and you'll learn a lot. So never bring that ego that I know everything. So it's related to everyone, including me. So always we should be a flowing water. And from this I would say, thanks for this wonderful platform. I hope this two mantra would help others to build up their future.
Awesome, Vichar. I really loved your analogy of flowing water. It gets auto purified, and
Yes.
that's amazing way of putting for the youngsters in a very simplified manner.
Yep.
Thank you very much. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to present you.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. Now our time to hear it from Srinivas. So you're on mute.
I said they have put it across so beautifully that they have not let me any they have not let any words for me to speak anyway. But I would just like to add that firstly, happy Independence Day to all our fellow countrymen and who are watching this, and to all the Indians. And we are very proud to be in this country. And India is always been a rich country in arts and heritage, and the best of the best scriptures are found in India. The best of the best stories and sub stories in the scriptures are a huge pride of our country. And if our youngsters are given awareness about these scriptures and the stories that come in the scriptures and the ideals and the morals, coupled with the freedom to think, don't put a lock on your freedom. And I request all the parents also to not to lock the freedom of their young minds, and try to open it up and try to encourage them into exploring what they have in their mind. I have come across a lot of parents who say that, I want my son or daughter to be like this, and he spends his time in drawing or playing games. Let's get behind the scenes. If playing games interests him, then encourage him to learn how to create games. If it likes drawing and painting, please encourage him to do graphics or animation. If he loves watching movies, then let him know how to create movies. So let's explore. Let's allow the young minds to think freely and not lock them, and give them the freedom. On this day, let's all pledge that we will give all the power of freedom to our young minds to pursue their dreams, and encourage them to grow big in these industries, which require a lot of young minds, a lot of new ideas, a lot of concepts, a lot of vigor and vision to take this to the next level, because India is poised to become a superpower in 2030 in the media entertainment sector, and especially the AVG sector. And we all have to come together and create this spirit in everybody to go behind their dreams and achieve this in making help us in achieving this big dream of making India a superpower in this industry. So happy Independence Day once again to all of you, and let's look towards a brighter country and a more a free country. I mean, in terms of giving the people the space to follow their dreams and achieve it. Thank you.
Yeah, happy Independence Day to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. And so wonderfully, collated all your thoughts. If I try to collate all your thoughts together, it's really such a wonderful message. And this is the 75th Independence Day, and the tide is now turning towards digital. And hence, we see the digital sun rising for India. It's going to be an era of media and entertainment. Like we say, doing what you like is freedom, and liking what you do is happiness. So, getting freedom to get happiness is the core mantra. So with this, I'd like to thank you all for giving your time on Saturday evening and celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav with Media and Entertainment Skills Council. We take immense pleasure in giving you a real big thank for coming here on this platform. And we hope we get connected soon, and we'll do more of these workshops, panels, and a lot of things that can encourage and that can actually support new generation to come and join the industry. With this, I'd like to thank you all. And before we close,
thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. You've been really wonderful moderator. You put us across such a good questions, and we think this will definitely help all the viewers and all the students and fraternity.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Pooja. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Pooja.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Vichar. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
So
Bye.
before we end this session, I'd really like to show this to our audience that we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And on Monday, we are coming up with webinar series on career in animation, VFX and gaming in association with Sharda University, where we'll have esteemed panelists joining us at 11:30 a.m. So do celebrate Independence Day and get freedom, do what you love, and enjoy your freedom. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Happy Independence Day. Bye-bye.